Alright, so today we are going to be starting officially Google Sheets. You're going to see here the assignment Google Sheets Day 1. Alright, so here is the copy of Sheets Day 1. Now, again, most of you probably have had some experience with this before, maybe even have done this exact same one. I can't remember what everyone's done in 6th grade, but again, because of this year being kind of a crazy year, some of this is going to be duplicated. So, you are going to duplicate the stuff that is colored in. Alright, so we have the word name, then we have score number 1, score number 2, score number 3, and we have 6 names here, 6 different scores. The stuff outside of the colored area is just instructions, all right? Now again, sometimes these fonts aren't exactly the same, and we'll have to see if they match up or not. So modern 16 across the top, informal Roman size 16 centered for the numbers, all right? If those same fonts aren't there, just pick size 16 is good enough. Color in the columns, turn on grid lines, stretch columns to fit, and you don't have to save it as Excel 1. Alright, so starting here with the blank sheet here. Alright, so basically I think the best way to recreate a Google Sheet is just type in everything first. Alright, so make sure you're just watching, not working right now. So I'm going to go name, and then I'm going to scroll over. I'm going to do score number 1. I'm going to do some things that are super quick and fast that I'll show you how to do later. Some of you maybe can see and figure out how to do things like that as well. But some things I'll just go over at a later point. And I'm just going to put in pretend names here, but you get the idea. Oops, James is close enough. Bill and Rick and Jim. Oh my gosh. Fix that. And Jenny. Alright, and now I'm just going to put in some scores here. So again, I'm going to just quickly put in some random scores. You need to make sure that you put in the correct scores. So I'm just putting those scores. So that's the data, right? That's the information. Right? You, again, like I said, you are going to have to match that up. But really what I want to do is we're going to concentrate on the formatting here. So across the top, modern 16 centered bold. So I'm going to highlight, and that way, the best way to do this is highlight chunks. All right. So I highlighted across the top. All of that is size 16, which you see 16 is not available. No big deal. 1/6 enter. All right. And it's supposed to be bold. All right. So there's my bold. Now, I don't know. Let's see if modern is here. I don't know if it is or not. And my scroll is not working very well. Down. And there is modern. Modern. Alright, so no modern there. Let me go here and check it on more fonts. Again, it's not really that big of a deal if it's there or not. It is not. So I'm just going to use this modern Antica. Sure. Alright. Maybe. My scroll will not scroll on this. Alright. What a pain. I won't do that either. Oh, now it's working. Alright. Modern 16. Modernina. Alright. Close enough. Alright. Modernina 16. Now, so that's good in terms of bold and stuff like that. So I'm going to highlight this here. This also is, see, informal Roman size 16. All right, so I'm going to select size 16 for that as well. 1/6 enter. And I'm going to do here, I don't know if informal Roman is here, but I'm sure Times New Roman is. So I'm going to scroll down to Times New Roman. Again, close enough as long as it's size 16. Times New Roman. All right, size 16. Now, we're not even close to being done though. So let's look over here. Informal Roman centered. So you can see here across the top is centered and all my numbers are centered. The names are not. All right, so I'm going to highlight this chunk here using this button here, centered. I'm going to highlight across the top. I'm going to center. Now it also said stretch columns to fit. Alright, so remember I can go up here when I have this single arrow, I can click and stretch that column wider, like so. Alright, so I only stretch just that one column wider. If I want to stretch all the columns the same width, I'm going to highlight across the top, right? A, B, C, D. And now, whatever I adjust one, since they're all highlighted together, adjust them all together. So that's probably a little too wide. All right, so that's pretty close there. Now, so I'm getting close here now. It says color in the columns and turn on the grid lines. So I am going to highlight just this chunk right here. Let me shrink this down just a little bit so we can see all of that. So I highlighted just the information that I put in there. Grid lines are also called borders. All right, I want them on all borders. So I'm going to turn that on. So all my borders are on now. And then finally, I need to do my colors. All right, and you can see I don't carry your colors, but I did, basically alternating colors there. Doesn't matter that much. I don't want anything super dark because I want my numbers to show up. So I'm going to do 2 of the same-ish. Not quite, I guess. And I'll do a couple of the light bluish or whatever color that is. Like so. Alright, so now I got stretched columns, I got centered numbers, I got everything size 16, I got bold across the top. Basically, it's looking pretty good. Alright, yours, you are going to have a turn-in button right here to turn that in when you're done. You're not going to share it with me. Make sure that you turn that in. So if I go back to Google Classroom, here's your assignment. You're going to have, this to look at, to recreate it. There's also going to be this video attached to it, but you don't need to see that unless you want to rewatch it. All right, and then make sure that you hit Add Create, create a new Google Sheet. It's going to be called Day 1, and then make sure that you turn that in. All right. So again, your finished product should look something like that, or something like this, similar to this. There's information here around the outside. You don't have to worry about that. Only the stuff in the middle. All right.